Uh, I have been given a spotter of this young male with a history of swelling over upper lip. In this case, I would like to ask the patient regarding the duration and progression of the swelling, whether there are any similar swellings anywhere else on the body, positional changes associated with it, pain or bleeding from the lesion, whether he has taken any treatment for the same previously, whether there are any associated complaints of uh, seizures, abdominal pain, joint or limb pains. Uh, on examination, this is an asymmetrical swelling of the upper lip. The surrounding skin appears normal. There is minimal bluish discoloration of the same. There is no localized rise of temperature or tenderness. The swelling is soft in consistency, compressible, with pseudo fluctuation. It has a bag of worms feel. There is no thrill or bruit associated with it. However, I would also like to examine the mucosal site, the oral cavity as a whole, and palpate for the bony malformations or any similar lesions inside the oral cavity, and also the dental alignment. So my diagnosis in this case is from the history and the clinical examination. This is a case of vascular malformation of upper lip, most probably venous malformation of upper lip, which comes to a class 3 according to the ISWA classification revised in 2018. My investigations in this case would be my investigations in,
Your PPT is not visible.
Sorry. Hello,
yes.
Dr. Lakshmi.
Yeah.
Screen is
What
not visible. By the way, I have to tell my apologies to both the speakers because my phone got a count off, sir. My phone had a problem. Hello.
Yeah, you
Hello.
are
Good evening.
audible, Radhakrishnan.
Yeah. Am I audible, sir? Am I? Am I audible to you, sir? Sorry, my phone got conked off, sir. My phone had a problem. That's why I could not send the link to you, both of you.
I sent Radhakrishnan.
Okay. Because
Actually, I morning
phone
I
got broken. So that's why.
kept message to them and I invited and sent the link to them. Okay.
Okay.
No problem.
May I start, ma'am?
Yeah.
Ma'am, the investigations in this case would be for a diagnostic purpose. That is, I would first opt for a USG, and as the diagnosis is confirmed and if the patient is willing for further treatment, MRI. Uh, Also, in all routine hematological investigations in the form of complete blood count, liver function, renal function tests, coagulation profile would be opted for. And if patient is willing for treatment, then a pre-anesthetic evaluation, also in the form of chest X-ray ECG. And according to the history of the patient, to rule out other concomitant associated syndromes, I may opt for CT brain, USG abdomen in these cases. So, as the diagnosis is made here of a venous malformation of upper lip, uh, for the treatment purpose, the very first thing is the patient and the attenders would be counseled regarding the nature of the disease, the treatment modalities that are available, and I would explain also regarding recurrence in this case, in spite of the treatment. Here, I would like to opt for a staged sclerotherapy followed by debulking of the lesion. If the patient has aesthetic issues, even after sclerotherapy, or it has not resulted in resolution of the lesion. Yes, sir.
Dr. Ashish, sir.
I thought Dr. A.K. Singh let Dr. A.K. Singh start.
Whoever
Huh?
may, sir. One of you can lead the
Yes.
discussion.
Sure. Okay. So, Dr. Chauhan,
Yes, sir.
why you took a history of convulsion? What was the reason? Why you ask specifically mentioned about convulsions?
Sir, I've asked for the history of
Why?
convulsion
Why you
because
ask?
this is a vascular malformation that
Hmm.
I'm suspecting, and there may be syndromic association
Which
of
syndrome?
the. Sir, there are multiple syndromes like
No, in this
Park's.
patient, which syndrome you are thinking? In this patient.
Which syndrome you are suspecting neuro?
Sturge-Weber syndrome.
Or Sturge-Weber syndrome. So, any feature of port wine stain you notice?
No, sir, there is no feature of port wine stain.
Whether port wine alone can alone be presented with just hypertrophy of the lip. Okay,
Sir,
no
it is.
problem. No problem. It's a diagnosis. Hmm. Before we come to diagnosis, how you made a clinical diagnosis of this case? Clinical diagnosis. On what basis you made a clinical diagnosis of this case?
So I have made a clinical
Features
diagnosis of the.
suggestive of venous malformation. In history, you didn't give me a course of the disease, so that you missed in the history, whether it was noticed immediately after birth, after a few weeks of birth, which was a
Yes, sir.
very important part.
So I would like to ask that in history, sir, regarding when the lesion was first noticed,
So,
whether it has
but
No,
increased.
you did present that, no?
Yes, sir.
she told, sir.
Huh?
She told she will ask the pattern of growth and when appeared
Okay,
and
she'll
all.
ask, okay, how
Yes.
the clinical diagnosis you'll make it. Okay, even now.
So
You can
clinical
stay
diagnosis.
present. Okay.
No.
Normal
What
present.
are the features suggestive of venous malformation?
So clinically, this is a soft swelling of the
Hmm.
upper lip with
Hmm.
compressibility,
Hmm.
and it uh, it's ill-defined, and it also increases on
See,
valsalva maneuver.
neurofibroma of lip can be also compressible and soft. So you are forgetting very important feature. What is that feature? See, Dr.
No,
Chauhan, if you want
yes,
to make a diagnosis of vascular swellings,
yes,
compressibility with refilling is must. You didn't mention anything about refilling. When you are
yes,
presenting this, you should have said compressible swelling with slow refilling, and that would have clinched the diagnosis clinically.
yes, sir.
Okay, so whenever you are in exam, and if you get a case of any vascular swelling, please elicit two things for clinical diagnosis. Compressibility with refilling, because many swelling are compressible. Without refilling, you can't make diagnosis of vascular malformation or vascular tumors. Okay.
Yes, sir.
Okay. So now you can say the clinical diagnosis is made on the basis of these two features. Okay. So how you'll approach? Ultrasound, you said. What do you want to see in ultrasound?
Sir, on ultrasound, I want to
Hmm.
see the nature of the lesion, the
What it will
extent, the
show?
flow.
What it will show? What
Sir,
is? Hmm.
considering this is a vascular malformation, a
Hmm.
venous
Hmm.
malformation,
Hmm.
which will
Hmm.
show it will show
Hmm.
a hypoechoic compressible lesion,
Hmm.
and
Hmm.
uh, in case there are phlebolyts are present, flow voids may also be seen. Yeah, sorry,
Okay. Okay.
hyperechoic
What it will be
hyperechoic
slow
lesion.
flow or ultrasound or a high flow?
So it will be a slow flow
Good.
malformation.
So it's a slow flow malformation. Okay. So now coming to see. So when we are asking investigation for vascular swellings, our first investigation is ultrasound. You are absolutely correct. And suppose it was
Yes,
a big then you ask MRI to see the extent of the disease.
Solution.
So
Yes.
ultrasound and MRI are the most important thing to clinch the diagnosis and to see the extent of the disease. Okay, so what you'll do? Again, can you repeat it? What's your plans?
So our treatment plan for this patient
Hmm.
would be very first thing, the counseling of the patient, explanation of nature
What you
of
want
this.
to counsel?
Sir, I have to counsel him regarding the nature of the disease and the
Hmm.
treatment modalities
So
available.
what
Most
you want to
importantly,
say
recurrence.
specifically? What specifically you want to tell patient?
What you want to counsel, you tell. The same thing you tell now.
So I will tell him what problem he is having right now.
What
What
problem
is the
he's
cause
having?
of
Prognosis you.
the
What prognosis you are going to tell?
Sir, it may or may not resolve completely in spite of
Yes,
the
that's very
treatment,
good.
and
That's very good.
there may also be recurrence of the same even if it
Yes.
resolves
Mm.
completely.
Okay, so incomplete excision and chance of recurrence we have to explain. Okay, what next?
So after the patient and the attenders are counseled regarding the same,
Hmm.
uh, and after the anesthetic evaluation is done,
Hmm.
patient would be first posted for sclerotherapy, in this case, staged sclerotherapy.
Okay.
Uh,
So
this
what do you mean
procedure,
by stage sclerotherapy? It's very small venous malformation. So how you are going to do it? What's
sir, for sclerotherapy, I shall be taking the help of my interventional radiology colleague.
Very good.
Since this is a small
What he'll
lesion,
do?
this can,
What he'll
so
do?
this can be done on OPD basis, with IV sedation or IV sedation, sir. So in this case,
Have you
after
visited any time that radiology department when these cases are done?
so I have not attended a
Whether it's
sclerotherapy.
done in GA or it's done in LA. Okay.
So for a small lesion like this, may be done under sedation, or GA may also be
So
preferable.
what they do? If you know what they do, then what they do in there? Where they inject?
Sir, a sclerosant in our
Hmm.
institute, preferably we use sodium tetradecyl sulfate
No. Where they inject in the
into the
vessel
lesions.
or
It's
into
intralesional, sir.
intralesional.
Intralesional.
So that's why most of the time it's done. Patient should not move at all. And
Yes,
if
sir.
it's using alcohol, most of the time this is done under GA. Hmm?
Yes.
Okay. So it's a intralesional. You'll give STD. It's very small.
Yes, sir.
Hmm? So whether radiologists give STD in all patients or whether they'll see whether spaces are there. Because it's very small for intralesional. Hmm?
Oh.
Okay, what's the surgery you'll do? Okay.
Sir,
Suppose as their spaces are not there
yes,
and
sir.
you have to do surgery. So what you are going to do?
Considering the sclerotherapy sessions are done, the lesion is fibrosed and somewhat
What's the name
localized.
of
I
the
can
procedure you want to do?
debulking
Is
of
it
the
for
Debulking. Good.
debulking or anything else?
debulking procedure, ma'am. Preferably, I shall aim for excision of the lesion here.
See what difference you are seeing in two halves of the lip.
Sir, so the left half of the lip is comparatively enlarged than the right one.
So it will shrink
Yes, sir, it will shrink.
with the STD.
Uh, so the lesion will become firm and easier to excise.
Okay, good. This is all from my side. Anyone else want to ask? Sir,
Sir, unmute, sir.
Doctor.
Unmute yourself. AK Singh sir, you're not audible, sir.
Singh sir, you're
The
still not audible, sir.
voice is not.
Voice is not. Sir.
He's checking, I think.
Okay. In the meanwhile, can I ask Rutuja one question?
Yes,
Rutuja,
sir.
one. Yeah, once you're actually putting in STD, what is going to happen is that lesion is going to become fibrotic. Okay,
Yes,
it's
sir.
going to shrink to a certain extent, but it's not going to
Yes.
shrink entirely.
Yes, sir.
So then what would you do?
So after this, if the patient has aesthetic improvement and he desires to stay so, we can leave it at that. Or if the patient still wants improvement and is willing for the operative complications that may occur with the same, we will post the patient for surgery. Here,
Mhm.
we shall post the patient for surgery under GA with
Mhm.
nasal intubation, preferably.
Mhm.
And after this all after taking consent with painting, draping, and after infiltration of the lip, upper lip, we would
You do
opt for a
infiltration first or marking first?
marking first.
Uh,
Uh, After marking the incision, preferably a fusiform elliptical incision
where
at
you
the
mark your elliptical incision?
margin of the wet vermilion with the mucosa, which will result in
Rutuja,
minimal scarring.
Rutuja, I'll just interrupt you here just for a second. See,
Yes, sir.
when you're talking about when you plan to what you plan to do, when you do the planning for that, you should know what is in excess. Whether the height is in excess, the thickness is.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. So your
You
height
expect to be excess. Yeah, height. Yes, good.
height is
You have
more
to
Height is
compare
definitely
na,
excessive.
the normal side.
Yeah, so you compare it with the normal side. So you have to take
yes,
this one and then you should be able to know approximately. Correctly, you will know exactly how much of height is excess, how much of thickness is excess, how much of width is excess. So then
yes.
the question is whether you're going to treat everything simultaneously. If so, how are you going to put the incision? So that is how it is going to be asked.
Okay. Yes, sir.
So how would you do your this one? You said you're going to put your incisions. Where are you going to make your incisions?
Sir, after marking and after
No, you
infiltration.
tell what is excess here, what are the aesthetic lines you have to mark, and how you plan. Okay?
Yes, ma'am.
What Dr. Sandeep is asking you the same thing. Okay, you told left side it is excess. How much is
Yes.
excess? How will you compare? So the lines you have to mark, no?
I will mark the aesthetic units of the lip with the Cupid's bow, the vermilion border, the junction of the wet vermilion with the mucosa, and the filtral ridges.
So that white line, red line you will mark, isn't it?
Yes,
The
ma'am.
junction is the red line.
Yes, ma'am.
So where it is excess, you will assess when comparison with the normal side.
Yes, ma'am.
And then you mark such that will be hidden.
Uh, yes,
Okay.
ma'am.
So where can you have the incisions to hide them?
So we can have the incisions.
Okay,
Uh,
don't bother. It's actually you have a few areas. Say, for example, if you're going to make your incisions just under the nostril sill or around the LR base, those are areas where it can be hidden well. So if you want to
yes,
remove the height, you can actually remove it from that sill area. And if you want to get the width down, you can actually remove elliptical incision, curving around the LR base. Okay. so that curved incision can be done, and the final incision is going to be well hidden, and so you can actually get the height as well as the width also shortened. And through a vermilion incision, you can actually go in and get the reduce the thickness of the lip also. But the most important thing is that you will have to tell them, warn them upfront itself, that this will not be a single stage procedure. You're actually debulking now, and some sort of re-surgery also would be required, right?
So
Yes,
this
sir.
entire
I'm
procedure
done.
can be
Yeah,
called as
fine.
reduction scaloplasty. Okay.
Sandeep,
Yes, sir.
Yeah,
is AK Singh sir on the line? Is he audible
yeah,
to
yeah,
us?
sir.
No,
No,
sir.
no, sir, Singh sir.
Sir, your voice is not audible, sir.
Sir, your voice is not audible. Sandeep,
Yeah.
so I think sir has not unmuted himself. Still in the.
No, no,
Uh,
sir is
He
unmuted.
unmuted. He
but why?
spoke to
Sir is
us.
not.
Okay. But why it's not audible at all?
Sir is talking, but it is not audible
Not
somehow.
audible.
Yeah.
Sir, it is.
Shall we ask him to remove the microphones?
If it is. Yes.
So I think now he's audible.
Sir? No. Maybe laptop problem is there.
Yes.
Yeah. Am I audible?
Yes,
Yes,
sir.
sir.
Ah,
Yes,
yes,
Now we
sir.
are audible.
yes,
Yes,
sir.
Now
yes,
you are.
sir. Yes.
Okay. So I'm doing it by my mobile phone now.
Yeah.
That wasn't
Okay.
Okay.
while
Yeah.
was not working. Just a couple of things, one thing is I would like to ask is that the only diagnosis which you made was of a venous malformation. Can it be a lymphatic malformation?
This is,
Can it be a lymphatic malformation?
So for a lymphatic malformation,
So
sir, the presentation would be different, as in the patient
audible,
may
not
have,
audible.
sir, the patient may have
mobility
vesicular
first, and
lesions.
how can you differentiate? You do those 2 points you tell.
So patient may present with vesicular lesions over the upper lip. The lesion may not be completely reducible, compressible with refilling, which is diagnostic of
What is the other
that.
important point in lymphatic malformation?
Uh,
Sign,
sir,
test.
uh, mm,
The other is do you do you expect dental abnormalities?
uh, sir, dental abnormalities may be there, but they may
Hello,
also be there in other
hello.
malformations, sir.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. You are audible.
Hello.
Yes, sir. You are audible, sir. You are audible.
Yeah. Do you expect dental abnormalities?
Yes, sir, may be present.
No, in what form?
Sir, it may result in malocclusion or because of losing of teeth or displacement of the teeth
What
due
happens
to
is
the.
when there is a bulge in front of the central teeth, then those teeth they don't grow forwards. So there'll be a localized deformity of the teeth, which is expected, and it's a long-standing lesion. So you do expect changes in the teeth. During the growth period, if you remove that bulk, then the teeth may come back to their normal position. But if it is very late in life, then and the growth period is over, then that has to be orthodontically corrected. So that is one thing which should also be. Uh, the rest of the part, I'm sorry, I couldn't hear because I was trying to switch over from the laptop to the mobile phone. But Basically, it was, I think, regarding the incisions and how you do the height reduction and things like that. I think those things have already been covered. So rest we can. Yeah. The other thing is, why do you want the radiologist? I mean, it's not a academic question, but why do you want the radiologist to do a intralesional injection?
Sir, this
You
is
know,
preferably done under fluoroscopic guidance and uh,
no, what fluoroscopic guidance? Fluoroscopic guidance means you are putting the patient under uh, radiation, and what are you going to see in a fluoroscopy? My
side.
ultrasound guidance could have been something which might have been a better answer, and that too for a deep-seated lesion. But for a superficial lesion which you can pinch within your thumb and index finger, I don't think, then what are we as plastic surgeons basically doing? Just taking the diagnosis and sending the patient to a radiologist. You know, there are certain indications where you send these patients to a radiologist, right?
Yes,
And those are basically deep-seated lesions or where they do an ultrasound guided sclerotherapy. That is fine. The other is specifically for embolization when you have to send them. That is the situation where you send it to a radiologist. But these lesions which are very superficial, you don't need to do send them to a radiologist for these sort of treatments. Right? That's just a academic, not I mean a management point of view rather than anything. The other thing is you don't need to give them a general anesthesia. What you can do is just if in case needed, what you can do is just block the inferior alveolar nerve,
yes, sir.
the infraorbital nerve, right? So that portion of the lips will get anesthetized. So you don't need. So you can judiciously use the block to take care of this problem. And he's a grown-up patient, so
Yes.
cooperation is not a big issue as far as child is concerned. But the rest of the things I think are good and yeah, fine enough.
What precautions you take while giving sclerosant, and that is one sclerotherapy, and other portion is what precautions you take to reduce the bleeding while before going for reduction caloplasty.
And precautions while giving sclerotherapy is uh, we need to empty out the malformation and manually compress the feeder vessels or take hemostatic stitches before injection of the sclerosant. Meanwhile, also the patient should be adequately hydrated and after injecting the sclerosant, we need to also compress the lesion for at least a period of 5 to 10 minutes so that the consistency of the lesion also changes uh, due to formation of a thrombus. Compression is given so that excess bleed from the injection site is also avoided. To avoid bleeding during reduction chiloplasty, the precautions are similar to that of these. That is, we take hemostatic stitches surrounding the lesion, and after the lesion is excised, the compressed vessels are released, and then hemostasis is achieved.
What are the sclerosants you
Also,
use?
yes, there are multiple sclerosants. Most commonly used is sodium tetradecyl sulfate.
Okay.
Others are absolute alcohol, sodium moroate,
Okay.
bleomycin,
Any other antimetabolite which is used?
doxycycline,
Vincristine.
bleomycin,
Vincristine is also used.
Vincris. Yes,
Of course, a lot of other things also like sirolimus, all these things have
thyroid.
been used. But commonly what we
Yes,
use is absolute alcohol and sodium tetradecyl sulfate. Okay.
yes, sir.
One, can I add one more thing just to chip
Yes.
in? Uh,
Yes.
when you are when you are telling this patient about the possible complications, one, I may have missed it. One is you should warn them about ulceration also,
Yes.
Yes,
besides
sir.
rest
For
of the things, you know,
complications.
because that sometimes does happen, and it does happens when the amount of sclerosant, especially sodium tetradecyl sulfate, if it is more, then it may ulcerate the skin also. People have used boiling water also for these things. They are all as a sclerosant, and of course, rest you have mentioned.
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
You will give
Shall we go to the next case, sir?
how much of tetradecyl sulfate?
So I know the percentage. So it's 3% of sodium tetradecyl sulfate, and it is used along with ethiodol and air to and made into a foam form with Tesseri's method to form microbubbles and inject into the lesion.
Absolute alcohol, any dosage is there?
Sir, I have not read about it. Sir.